Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to understand about code and design smells in code. So without further delay, let's get started. Software design can be tricky sometimes. Most days you are walking the line between codes to deliver a working product on a deadline and meeting the requirements of the future users, all while ensuring a certain level of code quality. In the midst of all that, there are moments where you, no doubt, look at your project and wonder if the code written is as flexible, safe and understandable as it could be. Enter code and design smells. Code that works but has weak points that indicate deeper issues of technical debt, brittle architecture and potential bugs. At formal level, code smells are certain structure in the code that indicate violation of fundamental design principles and negatively impact design quality and further release cycles in software development. Before we understand code smells, let's first understand what code smells are not, as many developers have this confusion. Code smells are not bugs in the code. Code smells are not compilation errors. And code smells are not non-functional codes. What code smells are? Smells are warning or signs pointing to inefficiencies and potential weakness in the code. Code smells can be ignored without breaking the program, however, leaving them unattended for a long period of time puts your project in disadvantage. Code can lead to brittle software after releases and possible cascading bug failures. There are some very common code smells you will find in your code base. Very common example is duplicate codes. In the given instance, we are formatting the string value into date object in several methods and classes. Your code smells because, if you wanted to change the formatting implementation, then you would have to go through it and do it at several places. This leaves you open to bugs if you miss any of the duplicate code to format. A practical solution, no matter what the programming language is, to take out the duplicate code and put it in a helper function, reducing any future changes to one location. Identifying code smells. Code smells can be found at any of these levels. That is, method level, class level, or application level in your software. Method level code smells are concerned with smaller units of a program. Namely, they are identifiers or variables and methods. The problem in these areas arises mainly from naming conventions and excessive or bloated content, which luckily be easily identified and fixed. Let's first see identifiers or variables. Variables named like this will be too short to understand its meaning and intent behind creating it. On the other hand, if it's too long like this will also be considered as code smell as its purpose is not easily understood. Right way is to strike a balance, focusing on the identifier's purpose, without being obtuse or too verbose. Another prevalent smell in code bases are long or bloated methods, which happens when there is just too many actions packed into a single function. For example, let's say we had a method which loads, read, write, and save a file. It has all these behaviors in a single function would make managing, reusing, and updating it very inefficient. The solution here is to break out each set of actions into their own method or combine together a couple of them, which gives you way more control over reusability and maintenance as well as general readability of program. Methods can also fall victim to excessive parameters, which shares the same downsides as bloated methods. Let's say you have a method that registers a new user in your program, and this might require a fair amount of data to process. In this example, we have first name, last name, and many other parameters, which makes this very verbose and unmanageable to call. The final method level code smell we'll look at is the almighty God line, which is the bane of all sane programmers. Essentially, this is a line so long, so hard to read that it becomes virtually impossible to refactor, debug, or reuse it with any kind of ease. If you find yourself in possession of one of these, look at the different actions it's in charge of and break them up accordingly. This code on one line in the previous slide was very hard to read, and the solution here is to just break out the line into more meaningful each line, which becomes much more readable. Now some programmers will feel that the more code you have, like in this solution, means that you're not as efficient or as good a programmer as you should be, and that fitting it all on one line is the mark of a skilled programmer. The takeaway from the examples is that good programming manners is to avoid God line and focus on what variables and methods actually do, and not so much how they do them. Let's take a pause over here. In the next video, we will continue this and understand about class and application level code smells. For videos to come, I will be starting videos on software designs including both low-level and high-level designs, so stay tuned. For this tutorial, I have changed the way to present the video to you. Let me know in the comments if you like this way of explaining or you like the previous ways. Based on your feedback, we'll work on it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to RG_semicolon to stay informed. Bye.